Welcome to Hornbill TV's Explainer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Al Muli. Do you know that plastic is not a name of the common material utility we know today as plastic? The word plastic actually means anything, any substance, any material or object that is easily formed, shaped, and is pliable. The first plastic, ladies and gentlemen, is actually rubber. The Belgian chemist Leo Baekeland pioneered the first fully synthetic plastic in 1907. His invention, the one we know today as plastic, combined two chemicals. For one of them was called formaldehyde and the other one was called phenol, and these were formed under heat and pressure. Today, single-use plastic products are one of the most useful utilities in the modern times. It is unfortunately also probably the most devastating, destructive industrial utility in the modern times. Since its invention in 1907, plastic pollution has come to account the biggest contributor to the devastation of the environment and flora and fauna. Its impact on aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems is astounding, ladies and gentlemen. Marine animals are some of the most affected by plastic pollution for the sole reason that plastic materials eventually find their way to water bodies and oceans. In fact, plastic is everywhere. Studies show that even the bottled water we drink has microscopic plastics, also called microplastics. Thankfully, from what I read, they are in trace amounts, and the literature I read earlier said they are generally safe, but that doesn't take away the fact that plastic has destructive impact on aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems, the health of people. Plastic debris injures and kills wildlife, either from being tangled in or through ingestion. It chokes up the land and really destroys the land. Additionally, as the plastic material decomposes, it leaches toxic chemicals that can harm both humans and animals, ladies and gentlemen. And plastic waste can take anywhere from 20 years to 500 years to decompose. That's a long time. But they don't get observed like other biodegradable materials. It never fully disappears. Plastic never fully disappears. It just gets smaller and smaller until it is in your soil. It travels to your water and vegetables and trees and grass and land everywhere. Because it's very tiny, it can travel anywhere. That's why the fight against plastic is the other third world war, ladies and gentlemen. Earlier this year, the government of Nagaland declared a total ban on single-use plastic products. The road has been mostly pump-based, considering it's impossible to entirely remove something deeply integral to modern lifestyle unless there's an abundant supply of alternatives, ladies and gentlemen. The government of Nagaland is gradually moving in to fulfill the meaning of the ban on single-use plastics, though. The Nagaland government is really keen about enforcing the ban on single-use plastic in the state. Nagaland government officials and entrepreneurs, besides other stakeholders, met recently in Kohima, ladies and gentlemen. They met to discuss ways to ensure business practices in the use of single-use plastic products in the state of Nagaland. The reports are that the government plans to introduce single-use plastic alternatives into the market within 3 months. So it's not far from now. So that's the plan of the government to implement the ban in totality, and that is the reason why they're looking for proper alternatives in this regard. The meeting was conducted somewhere in September at the Urban Development Directorate in the capital. Kesonyo Yome, Commissioner and Secretary to the Chief Minister of Nagaland, said the purpose of the meeting was to enable smooth implementation of best business practices for single-use plastic products. Updates from the Department of Information and Public Relations had previously said the official had advised against revisiting the common understanding of single-use plastics. They should instead seek possible solutions to combat the problem of single-use plastic and materials. they can do so by adopting solutions that have been proven effective in other states and cities. That's what the members attending the meeting were told. The idea was that the solutions may also be customized to fit the needs of the people of Nagaland. During the meeting, those in the meeting, especially entrepreneurs, endorsed and expressed total support to the use of alternative products that can safely replace single-use plastic products, especially the ones that we use most oftentimes: plates, spoons, waste bins, and we have bags and straws, a lot of them. So industries across the world continue to push for an economically viable, environment-friendly, biodegradable and sustainable alternative to plastic. These days you'll come across a lot of companies who are pushing a lot of alternative products to plastic, such as bags made of biodegradable materials. They can be made of paper, you have plants-based plastic materials, leather, and even materials made from cacti. But the problem is this: products that can serve as an alternative to plastic are generally much more expensive than traditional single-use plastics, ladies and gentlemen. The retailer has to pay more, charge more, and ultimately you, the consumer, you'll have to pay more for the plastic bag or the plate or the spoon or anything that is single-use. This is in contrast to when you used to get the bags absolutely free, when you used to buy things from the shops, from retail, anywhere, polythene bags for instance. So when you start going for environment-friendly bags, for instance, then I think you'll have to shell out more. And because these things don't come free, the retailer will have to charge you an extra, unlike the times when you used to just go and buy things and they just give you the bag with no charge at all. Second, it's difficult to source them, meaning that biodegradable bags or products or materials, it's difficult to source them or to procure them in regional areas such as India or Northeast India. This means that there will be additional financial burdens for both the businesses and the customer, that is you. While there are biodegradable alternatives, they are not still in mass production. They are still not. It is still a very novel, a very new technological sector here in this regard. Therefore, these biodegradable, environment-friendly products are much costlier than the ones that you would normally get if there was no bag in Nagaland. For instance, a polythene bag will cost only a few paisa for the business establishments to buy, but a kilo of biodegradable bag made of, say, let's say paper or hemp or even banana stem or any other plants would cost anywhere from 10 rupees to 100 rupees. Because plastic alternatives are currently only a very small industrial sector in India, you'll need to import them from specialized industries in foreign countries where alternative products are widely used. Again, businesses and consumers in developing communities do not have that economic clout. They cannot afford it to be able to afford and sustain the use of biodegradable products. There has to be considerable investment for the businesses in this regard, ladies and gentlemen. You can't do it without the government's assistance. Let's do some mathematics here. Biodegradable raw material is at least 3 times more costly than conventional plastics, ladies and gentlemen. Considering the higher raw material costs, processing costs, and that it is up to twice as much material is needed for that kind of a production, biodegradable bags result in being about 6 times far more expensive than conventional bags. So you can just go to Amazon, just type in biodegradable bags, and the prices will astound you. The prices look like your Aadhaar card number. There's a lot of work there. Imagine paying 80 rupees for a single environment-friendly bag to carry a kilo of potatoes that cost about 50 rupees when you paid for the bag at least 100 rupees. What you're going to do with that? So that's one of the issues I believe that the entrepreneurs during the meeting raised. The average price of a biodegradable, environment-friendly plastics range between somewhere in the range of $3.35 to about $4 per kilogram. So biodegradable, environment-friendly materials cost about 250 rupees to almost 400 rupees. For comparison, what is the price of a kilo of plastic bags in India? 70 to 80 rupees. See? That's the difference that I'm talking about. During the Kohima meeting, this issue was raised by the members attending the call that was given by the government in regard to replacing plastic market with something that is more environment friendly. It is said that the healthcare and hospitality services are the biggest users of single-use plastics. The report said that the suppliers of alternative products for single-use plastics requested the government to assist them in distributing these products in the market. There are regulatory concerns too, ladies and gentlemen. During the meeting, the Nagaland Pollution Control Board reportedly said it was the responsibility of the entrepreneurs to ensure compliance with the government's manufacturing regulations. Companies that produce single-use plastic products should comply with the Central Pollution Control Board standards and certification. That's what they were told. The board also emphasized the importance of environmental clearances for entrepreneurs planning to establish production units in the future. The stakeholders, on their part, reportedly agreed to simplify the procedural formalities whenever or wherever it is possible for them to do. They were encouraged to find ways to reduce the cost of single-use alternative products. So these are the concerns, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to ensure every manufacturing process for the alternative products complies with the standards set by the government or the pollution board, for instance? Do you remember the time years ago the Dimapur authorities caught a meat dealer for selling some funny looking and funny tasting meat? Do you remember? The authorities then decided that veterinary doctor would first inspect the meats before they are sold in the market. At least that was the decision that was given to the media. Well, I don't know if they still do that or not, but one thing is sure, we need someone on the ground that is constantly looking out at the manufacturing process to see if the materials comply with the standards set by the government. I'm not being too distrustful here, but looking how things have been working in our Christian state, Nagaland isn't really famous for being super Christian here, ladies and gentlemen. So lack of constant, regular and dedicated monitoring system could also open some unethical business practices. For instance, consumers are not experts, ladies and gentlemen. You are not an expert, I'm not an expert. Consumers can't tell if the products are genuinely biodegradable, environment friendly, or just plain toxic plastic products. We cannot tell the difference, which means they wouldn't know. We wouldn't know if they are buying or using a certified product at the higher price than is legal and is set by the government. So for now, though, Mr. Yome, the Commissioner and Secretary, assured that the government would exert every effort to address the challenges faced by the entrepreneurs in this regard. The state government is also said to have assured to enable and simplify procedures to avoid administrative obstacles, a lot of paperwork involved, ladies and gentlemen, and allowing entrepreneurs to focus on their core issues and pursuits. The entrepreneurs also, on their part, committed to replacing single-use plastic products with alternatives in the market within the 3 months time frame. Thank you for watching Hornbill TV, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Almuli. See you next time.